Dale, tell me about this project, what's going on here, and why is this particular client going to be so successful?
Well, the reason he's going to be so successful is the fact that he's really organized. He's excited to be here and build his house. And that's really invaluable right there. He's inquisitive. I come by and he's always got a couple of questions, and that I feel like I'm less informing him but more solidifying what he already knew. So he's pretty darn knowledgeable for a first-time builder doing this kind of thing. So
give me the basics. What does it take to succeed and be successful as your first-time owner-builder on a very expensive project?
Yeah. Put a little bit of time in on the front end. Know your plans. Have a plan as far as, get your subs organized as quickly as possible. And do your best to have a final picture in your mind of how you want things to work out, and be ready to make decisions and be ready to do whatever you got to do to keep the thing moving. Not all things are planned out. Things come up, things happen, and if you drag your feet, then it'll just tend to go on and on and on and on. But if you are ready to go and ready to tackle anything the day might throw at you, then you're ready. You're going to do great.
So give me the brief explanation once again for people who haven't seen this before. What does it mean to be an owner-builder with HomeWrights?
Well, it means you're in charge out here on site. You're making decisions. You're contacting people and scheduling and making sure this project runs as smoothly as possible. And a big part of that is, making decisions when you need to on the go to keep them moving. So.
And what are the benefits of being an owner-builder with HomeWrights?
Oh, well, with a client like Brian, he's having an absolute blast out here just being involved in the construction process. And obviously saving money because we're not out here doing the build for him. We're just helping him along and being there for him whenever he has a question, making sure things aren't missed along the way.
So what are some of the common first questions people have when they think about building their own home and acting as their own contractor?
Well, it's funny. You kind of get two extremes. You get some that think, it's not rocket science. They can build a house without a problem. And just not knowing the ins and outs and how to, when one sub's ready to go and start and when they're not. And then you got the other extreme where they just think, it's way too much, there's no way, it's too overwhelming. I've never done this before, I have no knowledge about it. But honestly, if you can keep a planner in your car to run your family smoothly or whatever career you may be in at the time, you can really make this work with a little bit of guidance from us as far as and keep you on track.
Somebody recently told me they have no construction or building skills and they would be nervous about doing this. And I tried to explain to them that being the owner-builder doesn't mean you ever pick up a hammer. Am I correct on that?
That is absolutely correct. And some of the concerns might be, well, I don't know if somebody does a good job or not, which is where we really come in, because I can walk around a project and put my eyes on everything and point things out that aren't necessarily up to standard or need to change or anything like that. And so that takes that scary element right out with our expertise from HomeWrights. I mean, we've got thousands of hours of knowledge with each of us, and we are a team. So if it's one of my projects, I'm not necessarily the only one out there. If I need to call on somebody else, then they're here to help out. So
what are some of the first things HomeWrights will help with, as in permitting, design, all of the startup stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we have designer draftsmen and architects in our toolbox, so we can start right at the very beginning with putting them in contact with someone to design their home, and we have the knowledge to get them started on the property. So there's a lot of things that have to happen before you actually start building the house, with a soils test, certain things like that. Where's your utilities coming into the property and contacting the utility companies and get that ball rolling. And so there's a lot of pre-planning that goes into a project before you even start the actual building.
And how about financing? How do you help there?
Well, we have banks that we deal with that know the type of construction that we do, and they are more apt to provide a loan to someone that's an owner builder than maybe some other banks around.
So bottom line, the difference in the two approaches, traditional construction versus owner builder, summarize those for us.
Well, the biggest factor there is you're hands-on during the whole project on an owner build, and you're going to save a lot of money by taking that on. You're involved in particular changes that might take place out on the job site that maybe you didn't think that it would quite look that way, so you're right there to make a quick decision in the framing process instead of sometimes realizing it after drywall's in, and then all of a sudden a change is a lot more expensive at that point. So you're really hands-on on the project, and the biggest factor is the amount of money you're going to save by your own sweat equity that you're putting into the project, because I love to build houses for people too, so turnkey is never an issue, but you're going to pay me a lot more money to do that, obviously, So pay me or pay yourself. That's correct.